By for a segment of the 6 o'clock p.m. news is recorded from WCBS in New York.
The world itself. This is The World Tonight. Good evening, I'm Steve Young, CBS News, sitting in for Douglas Edwards. This Christmas night, the thoughts of many Americans are with Harry Truman, an American if there ever was one. He lies in a deep coma in Kansas City Research Hospital. There are many reporters there who remember Mr. Truman for the things we all do, the history he made in the White House. Jay Cooper of CBS radio affiliate KAYQ remembers him in the post-White House years in Independence, where Harry Truman walked and walked and walked.
Swinging his cane jauntily, Harry S. Truman walked the neighborhoods of his native Independence, Missouri. He walked with a purpose, not sauntering, but moving at a pace that wore out many a news reporter and photographer, hoping to have a few quotes on a world topic. That was the way people remember Mr. Truman's famous walks when he had recently left the White House, but still stayed in the public eye. The 33rd chief executive kept reporters guessing. In adult life, he attended baseball games, but told some friends that it was only because, quote, the boss loved it. And the boss, his wife, was Bess Truman. 5 or 10 years after leaving the office, the newsmen quit walking, but Mr. Truman still toured the city, along with his longtime friend and bodyguard, Mike Westwood. About 3 years ago, Mr. Truman's walks took place farther and farther apart. Westwood kept newsmen away from the former president. His cane spent more time on the ground than swinging. Finally, as illness became part of his life, Harry Truman's walk ceased. When he went anywhere, it was in an automobile and under the watchful eyes of Bess and Westwood. On November 7th, the general election did not even bring Mr. Truman out. For the first time, he voted absentee.
Jay Cooper on Harry Truman, still in a coma in Kansas City. An American official in South Vietnam says the Nixon administration has extended the 24-hour suspension of the bombing of North Vietnam.
Grave at this hour, the latest from the hospital in Kansas City, Missouri, and CBS newsman Robert Barr.
A terse medical bulletin at mid-morning put it more directly than at any time since the former president entered the hospital 3 weeks ago. It stated quite simply that death could occur within hours. It was the first time that those words have been used here, although not the first time that the thought has been mentioned. Mr. Truman's failing vital organs and his deteriorating life signs, as they've been described in increasingly pessimistic medical bulletins, have given a singular impression that virtually the only thing that is keeping Mr. Truman alive is his strong will to survive. Although he is now in a deep coma, his breathing slow and shallow, his pulse weak, the former president continues to live. Robert Barr, CBS News at Research Hospital, Kansas City.
We'll have more news of the world tonight in a minute. The following is a message from General Motors Corporation. In Washington this Christmas Day, it was covered by Lesley Stahl.
About 150 people spent Christmas Day outside the White House protesting the heaviest bombing of North Vietnam since the war began. They gathered in Lafayette Park for an ecumenical church service. After the prayers for peace and the sharing of bread and wine, the demonstrators marched across Pennsylvania Avenue to the main gate of the White House to deliver an open letter to the president.
Christmas Day at the Vatican. The Pope speaks in English and Vietnamese. Here's a report from Joseph Dembo in Rome.
More than 10,000 people in St. Peter's Square today, blue skies and sunshine. Buon Natale, Pope Paul said to them. Merry Christmas. Buon Natale, Buon Natale. The Pope is 75 years old. He had just said his third Christmas Mass in a little more than 12 hours. He had had less than 6 hours of sleep. After delivering his Christmas message, Paul VI wished the world a blessed Christmas in the joy and peace of Christ. He used 16 languages, including English and Vietnamese. A blessed Christmas in the joy and peace of Christ.